Hi all, it's Denise, and here I am in my studio. I'm working on a couple little projects, kind of experimenting and playing with a few things, getting ready for a mixed media class I'm going to teach. So it's always nice to know what you're doing when you're teaching. So I'm kind of playing around with a couple of things. Mainly, I'm playing around with adding text to text and numbers in different ways. This one right here is done with a stencil. These letters right here are rub-off letters from a contact sheet. And of course then, you know, we've just got numbers from our pattern pieces. I'm just experimenting with this, and I'm going in a linear pattern with all of these that I've been working on. Here's one I just finished. And I have my favorite little polka dot napkin. These numbers, I actually found a font I liked, printed it out on the computer, and then cut the numbers out and put them, used matte medium to put them on. I've got a dressmaker's pattern. I've got another one of the little rub-off letters, and it got really kind of crackly, and I liked it, so I left it. On this one, I even added a little bit of silver leaf and contractor's tape. So I'm going to put one of these together for you. Oh, and I love these little scissors that show up on the pattern. And I'm just using ampersand board for these. I love these because they have the little hanger in the back, and I always go back when I'm done and finish off the back of my pieces. So these are the two I've kind of been experimenting with. So let me show you how I put those together. Let's slip that there. And I've got this right here. Let me slide those over there. So here is my ampersand board. And on this, what I always do is I start with a color wash or rub some color on. This one over here, I started with a kind of a goldy yellow sienna, burnt sienna color. And on here, I'm just using kind of an orangey, rusty color. But what I did on here, and if you can see, I actually did a stencil and built up my stencil so I have a relief going on there. So I have a little bit of texture with my numbers. Not sure how those are going to work out yet, but I like this color underneath, peeking through, because the colors I'll be putting on top are pretty bland. Not bland. They're nice. But it's a little bit softer. I want it to be softer, but somehow my softer things always end up being a little bit too busy. So I use my coffee can lids, and I fill them full, put my matte medium, my Liquitex matte medium in there, and that's what I use when I'm doing papers. If I'm doing something that's a little bit heavier, I'll use a gel medium because it just sticks a little bit better. And let me grab a towel. Here's a towel to keep dry my brush off. Okay, let me just start with, and as you know, oftentimes when I do these, I just pour the matte medium onto my board and take it from there. I'm getting this down. I want to get rid of all the little air bubbles, and I love these little, this is a bowl scraper. I got it on Amazon in the cooking section, and it's by Zoe and Chloe, and it's really great if you're doing any kind of laying any papers down or any collage, because you can really work all the bubbles out. Most of the time you can work all the bubbles out. You kind of have to come back and babysit it a little bit, go back and forth, and make sure that bubbles aren't forming while you're working on something else. And also, it's really good if you put, don't scrimp on your medium. The more you put down, the easier it is to get it to stay. and not bubbles. So that is looking pretty good. That doesn't mean it's going to stay good, but let's see how we end up with this. Of course, I use my fingers a lot, and I try to work on my sides as I'm going, and I can come back and clean that up later. So I like the word contents, but I don't really like too many of my words to show up. So I have this great piece of gauze fabric from Free People. It's one of their shopping bags, and it's really pretty gauze that they give for their shopping bags. And I am going to put this kind of right over part of that lettering. Now you'll be able to see the lettering through the gauze fabric. Let me get my end so it doesn't curl up there. Okay. And this smooths out really nicely. Whoops. Cover up the letters. There we go. And it ends up being nice and transparent. I like that. And I'll come back and do my edges. I think I also like contractor's tape, and I stuck it to a piece of scrapbook paper because I like the thickness of the scrapbook paper. And what do I want to do with this? Oh, you know what I want to do? First, I want to take a piece of pattern paper. Love pattern paper. I'm going to put that down here on the end. And I think I might want to put it right along the edge. Again, working out bubbles as I go. Okay, let me slide that over a little bit. I want that corner to match up. Okay. Of course, nothing goes exactly smooth when you're videoing it. It goes perfectly when you're here working by yourself. There. I just like those black lines. Still not happy with how that went on. And that happened. So let me move it down a little bit, because that corner is not cooperating. And you have to be careful because, as you can see, it's tissue paper, so it's not that durable. And it's starting to tear, which is fine. Just work out my bubbles. Bring out my side, rip that off. Let's get rid of that. There. Okay, I wanted to get that down because then I want to lay this over top of it. About right there. All right, this is what I usually do. I usually just put my glaze right on there and swish it about the way I want it. Okay, now I might want to keep this side down here because it has a little bit more of a floral print rather than the text. Even though I am making this about the text, I don't want that to be the only thing. Kind of like these softer patterns going along with it. Okay, now what? Oh, you know what I wanted to do? I think I wanted to lay this. This is fabric, so don't be afraid to use fabric. I kind of like this right under my numbers, and then this paper is pretty durable, so I can pull that up, smooth that out, and then put this back down over it. And I like little bits of the orange showing through, the rust color showing through. Okay, and another piece of this. Here it is. I'm going to put that right there. The fabric stays down really nicely. So let's just get this Something's bubbling. I see something bubbling there. Why is that? I think it's because the paper is moving and the contractor's tape is not. So maybe I shouldn't have hooked those up together. Okay. All right, I got that. Now let's see, what else do I have to add to this? I kind of like this green, so I'm thinking I want to add that green right in there. Maybe I'll turn it upside down. There. Make sure it's nice and smooth down. This is a thicker paper, so I could have used the gel to make that stick down a little better. Get those guys. Yeah, I'm going to deal with my edges later, so I'm not taking up valuable time doing that. Now I think I want to add my letters. This is an, or do I? Do I want to add my letters, or do I? You know what? To go with this, I think I'm going to add a little bit of my polka dots in that green. And as you know, the tissues, they are 3-ply, so you want to take the time to separate those back 2 plies. You don't really need them. And this might look good coming right in here, because a little bit of that orange is going to show through, because this goes down very transparent. Again, you don't want to work your tissue too much because it will tear. Not sure that's going to stick down yet. And I had a piece of the stripe, so maybe a little bit something different. I've got a tear down here, this little tear, so let me doctor that up by adding this little green stripe right there. There. That's, there we go. Okay. I like it. I like my papers down. Now, my next step is I've got my papers down. I want to go back in and create some little painted areas to fill in a little bit. And I'm going to use, I could use this color, which is a creamy color I've been using a lot. I think I will. And if I want to go over it afterwards, I will. With another color. I love doing little things like filling in the blanks. Like there's a nice little square right there. I like that. Come over that. Create a little design with that. I do love, if you've followed me before, been in one of my classes, you know I love to fill in, paint in these little guys and make them more of a painted piece rather than just a tissue that's stuck on the board. I'm kind of winging this as I'm going here. Design. This is design on the fly. Fill this in. I find this really relaxing. Really meditative, kind of. And we could turn a couple of those little circles into squares. They don't have to be circles. because you don't want them to all be exactly alike. And then maybe we'll just let this kind of drift off. See how that works. I like that. I kind of like that. Now, I do want to be really daring and paint around these numbers. Let's see if I can do that. Do it and make it look good. I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to get in there. I mean, I know I can get in there to do it effectively while I'm trying to video. Might be a different story. Or maybe it's just a matter of a different brush. Blend that in a little bit. Do I want to stop there? I don't have to completely paint. Let's see if I can do this. Aha! I did it. Except for that one little... I'll come back and get that. Maybe I want to let this kind of continue up into the 6. I'm sorry if I'm mumbling. There's the 6. Oops. Okay. Kind of like that. And then again, I might just, I like the things that I'm working with, paper and fabric wise, to actually be, you know, incorporated into the painting. So going over the edges, might do that. It's really helpful bringing it into the painting and blending it in a little bit. Okay, I like that. I love those letters, or the numbers. And maybe I'll grab a little brush, a little teeny weeny brush. A brand new little teeny brush, it looks like. Let me get into there. I do like the linear aspect of it. Okay, I think that's good for now. Let me get that one little guy. Okay. So there I am with my fabrics. So let me take a moment, let this dry, and then I will come back and we'll see where we're headed next. I'd like to add some lines in. I'd like to add some mark making in, and a few other little details before I call this done. We got a little bit more to go. So come back and I'll see you then. Okay, I'm still waiting for this to set up. I clean up my corners a little bit just to look presentable. There's a couple other things I want to add to this. I cut out a couple of little cursive letters that really didn't mean anything, an A and a W, but I think maybe I just like the A, and that's all I need. I don't really need the W. I can't really make it make sense, and I like that there's 3 big elements. I add this in and it just doesn't I can't find a place for it to fit in, so I'm not going to use it. But I'm going to use this, and it's not going to take very much to glue this down. So I'm just putting a little bit of matte medium on. I'm going to put that right on the line. Right on the line. And just, I like that it gives a little bit of texture. It's sitting on top of the contractor's tape. So let's let that sit. And then what I want to do is add a little bit of mark making. And I love lines, nice clean lines. So let's start with making one right here. And I'm using my Stabilo pencils, nice and sharpened. I like a sharp edge. And I am going to just make a line, skip through my A. I want a little bit of black there. And maybe a little bit of black right along that line and fading out. I also have brown. Whoops, I had brown. Guess I won't use the brown. Don't really need it. And then I'm going to take my little fine tip brush, get it wet, and then come back and just hit that and make it a little bit more pronounced. It's the Stabilo pencils are water soluble, so that works really great. And I'm going to pull it down a little bit just to kind of, so it's not just a straight line, it's kind of more than a straight line. Same with this one. I'm going to kind of skip it through. And then I'll take a paper towel and blot that out a little bit. Knock it back, smear it in. I guess it could have been cool to go through that A, but I'm not really sure I would have liked that. Then let's see what else I have. Little tricks up my sleeve. Ooh, well, that magically fell out, but I don't think I want that color. It's too much the same of what I already have. I could do this, which is a complementary color of what I've got going on. That's always a nice idea. But what am I going to do with it? Oh, I know what I could do with it. How about if I just go around a couple of these guys to make them a little bit different. I'm going to go around him. Not sure I'm going to like it, but I might. 3 is good. Go back to my little brush and hit some of that. And I'm not being too careful about it. Not sure I love that. Add a little bit of black because I'm hitting it on the fabric. So the fabric is really soaking that in. A little bit of black kind of makes it a little bit less colorful. I kind of want it to look a little bit more sophisticated in color rather than just bright colors. I kind of like that. Then I want to do something to pull that color in somewhere else. Maybe it's just set that down, see if I can do those a little better. I like that. Hopefully I'll like it more when I go like this. I don't want them to all be completely evenly colored. And I'm going to go back in and add a little bit of black with them. So that just kind of takes the brightness away. Okay, what am I forgetting here? What else do I want? I'm kind of liking it. Looks pretty fun. I know there's more I can do. I do like using pencils. Add a pencil here. Oh, I know what I want to do. I've already got script handwriting on the paper. And I love this little color. This is Titan Green, pale Titan Green. I like this color a lot. It's probably not going to show up a whole lot on here, but I just want to add a little bit of color. Got to be careful of that black line right there, because that black line right there is water soluble, and I don't want to get it mixed into my paint. But I want that line to stay showing. Just a little bit of a tint. Well, I guess it's more than a tint. I am changing the color. But I like the lighter color showing through. I like how this somehow this little bit of green pulls it all together. Because it has the feel of this color green down here, even though we know it is that creamy color. And then you might want to just hit over that line a little bit, your black line, so it doesn't seem so defined. Do I want to go down here? I may not want to go down there. I want to go there. I could go here. You have to do quick hits there, because if I touch that green and that black, I'm going to pull it into my paint. Whoops. Or completely cover it up, which is good too. All right. What else can happen? I'm sure more I could keep working on this and keep playing with it. I might take something and rub. You know what? I might wait until this is dry and rub color all over that, like in a whole chunk, to keep the line going. And yeah, let me see what that looks like. So let me dry this and I'll be right back. Okay, I want to kind of bring these two together. Not be matching, but kind of matching, but not really. I want to bring this color in. A little bit of this goldy color, which is a Quinacridone Nickel Azo Gold. And I love the fluid acrylics, because you just need, oh, that's way too much. That's going to go way too far, but it'll be fine. So I want to take that and mix a little medium in with it. Let's hope this works. And I want to just do a quick wash over this. That looks very acidy. But I'm going to do just a quick wash. And I'm going to go back and I think that kind of helps. I like how it collects in these little nooks and crannies of the letters. Looks kind of cool. Maybe add a touch of it down here. Let's see how those two look together. Whoops. I kind of like them. They're nice. They're it's a fun little exercise. I might go back with my pencil and outline these guys, or at least maybe one of them. because I love pencil markings. Oops. Kind of like that. I could even go in here and write some letters or numbers because I have that blank space there. But, you know, not everything is important. Not everything can be filled in. But for now, you get the idea. It's a very linear. I've got a very linear thing going on. I might keep that happening. Let's see. Pencil line there. You know, you could just keep building on it. My theme is to do a horizontal line and to just keep working from there. And I think those are two fun little pieces. Little bit of paint, probably more collagey than paint, but it is mixed media, and you could just keep adding on and adding on because layers is where it's at, as I've mentioned before. So I hope I know you can do this. It's really pretty easy and it's really pretty fun. And teaching class has given me the opportunity to explore different techniques and see what I like about it and what I can take away from it. I do like the linear. I do like adding in, you know, playing with numbers and letters and handwriting. I love handwriting in my work. So give it a try, and I think I'll do another quick video on doing these relief stencils because that's pretty fun. Anyway, thanks for watching, and I will be back again soon.